everyone. Welcome to the Herpetoculture podcast. How you going, buddy?
Really good. Really
That's
good.
a very
Tired.
smooth radio voice I did then, didn't it?
You have got a voice for
Welcome
radio.
to the... Yeah. Not a face. I got a face for radio too. I've said that so many times.
I've got a face for radio as well, mate, but I still stick my mug out there.
Yeah. Oh, well.
How you been, dude?
Yeah, good. Bit tired. Not as tired as you.
That's all right. It's been a big week. That's for sure.
Yeah. I bet.
Yeah.
Setting up that new reef tank.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
probably
right.
put about 18 hours into that, like dismantling the old one and then putting this new one together.
Did
Yeah.
you get done by bristleworms or what?
I was cleaning out the old tank at work today because I'm just selling it at the shop.
Yeah.
And as I was cleaning out the sump, I got done by one that was still in the sump. Little bastard. So I've covered
Bastards
myself
things,
in.
eh?
Horrible. Covered myself in glue and then pulled it out. But anyway, good fun. We were a bit late jumping on here. We were supposed to jump on at 8, and we've just been talking books and looking at book posts and stuff for the last however long.
I know, I saw that book post pop up and thought I'd try and get on a few titles that I don't have. So,
I gotta love Ollie jumping on the bandwagon and just saying, "Hey, mate, give it a break.
you never give it a break. No,
Can't back off the gas."
no, that's right. No, there's ones that I don't actually have, so I saw it pop up. I was like, I could jump on those. So
Yeah. Well, there's some solid ones that I don't have there. I mean, I've got nowhere near the book collection that you've got, but yeah.
That's a really good collection that she put up of those.
Oh,
books
yeah.
that are there. I've bought stuff off her previously, a while ago when she sold a bunch, but yeah, now she must be getting rid of everything, I'd say. So by the looks of that.
Yeah, well, as you said, you send a message, I sent a message. Maybe we'll see if we can do some combined postage or whatever, and I'll come for a drive and pick them up again.
Yeah, that's right. It's be the way to go.
Yeah. I actually ordered some more books this week. I think I told you about that, didn't I? Did I?
I think so. Maybe.
No,
I think I've forgotten.
Well, we talk so much books that it just kind of goes back and forth in one ear and out the other. Yeah,
I haven't ordered any new ones yet.
I've got an old title from Gunther Schmieder, Snakes of South Australia. What else did I have in there? There's a few different ones. You said you had all of them, probably. I can't remember. I sent a photo.
Actually, I do remember you saying that. Yeah, that's right. Because you're over here, and I was going through my bookshelf trying to see if I had certain ones.
Yeah. I tried to get heaps of her crocodile ones because I don't really have much on crocodiles.
I don't have many. I'm still trying to get some of these coggers. I still need a few of them. I remember at one point they were everywhere, but not at the moment. So
yeah, so I've got the Australian story Crocodile by Philip Holden, Australian Reptile Wonders by Harry Fraker, I think. The Cold-Blooded Australians by Gunther Schmieder, and then Snakes in South Australia. I can't actually read the.
You did send me that. Yeah, I do remember now.
Yeah, and then she messaged me back because I tried to buy. I think she had like 5 on crocodiles. I tried to get all of them, and I think she ended up messaging me back with another title that I ended up picking up off her.
Nice.
Which was another crocodile one, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head.
Yep.
Actually, it's been a good book week for me. It's been a while since I've kind of splashed out. You got that awesome Lizards of Australia book.
Yeah.
That was Steve Wilson's, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, with a Kleber Palmer on the front.
Yeah. They're probably all redundant, those books now. all the books.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. There's been a few chops and changes, hey?
Yeah, I haven't read the paper yet. You flicked it to me the other day, but I haven't had a good read of it yet. Had a bit of a glance over it.
Yeah, so I had a very, very quick flick through it, and hopefully I don't absolutely butcher this, but I believe Verana Storai and Ocriatus have been given full speciation. While, if I'm not mistaken, Barichi is no more, and it's now Varanus citrinus. I could be wrong there. Somebody will correct me anyway. But yeah, there's been a few chops and changes and things to it.
That's good to see. It's good to see that, like, there's still work going on. Stuff's still getting described. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to happen, right? People always rename things because they think it falls into somewhere else better in the taxonomic world. But does it change the lizards to you, though? No. They're still the same looking lizard.
100%.
They just get a new Latin name.
Yeah. I mean, it is cool when they find a complete new species that's like, you know.
Oh, like completely divergent from everything or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, like you said, it doesn't really change the fact that it's a lizard or a snake, but it's still cool to see, though. It's like, I do enjoy it. I enjoy reading those papers. A lot of it goes over my head, but that's what I was saying the other day. You need to get the Dictionary of Herpetology. So that's what I'll do. I'll read a paper and I'll flick through that. What does that mean? Okay, yep, sweet. Bit of cross-referencing.
Yeah, that was actually cool to come up and see your place and start going through your bookshelf like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah.
And when you pulled that out, I was like, oh, that's so cool. I didn't even think about getting that. You know, that's one of the first books I got 8 years ago. Yeah.
That one. But, no, it was good you came up, finally. It's only been, God knows how long.
Close to 10 months, 9 months, I think, since we started this. Episode 50, by the way. This is number 50.
So I thought we'd already been going for a year.
We've been going for a year.
That's right, yeah.
Because of like Chrissy and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we
episode 50
skipped a week or something like that. But
here and there, yeah.
Yeah. But no, episode 50. Crazy. Congratulations, mate.
I know. It doesn't feel like that.
No. I still find it weird that people listen to us, but
yeah, I know.
You know.
Sometimes like right now, I'm like, there's no one listening to us. What are we like?
Yeah. It's not until we get a guest on the numbers come up.
Yeah. I guess people probably over us rambling, but, you know, we like to have a chat here and there. So kind of fill the space when we don't have a guest on for the week. But we've got some good ones coming up, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for next week. We won't let on who's coming on next week.
Just a good one.
That should be pretty good.
Yeah.
No, it is. I'm stoked to finally have come up because I get this little like window into your world via the webcam on your computer, and that's about it. And now it's finally good to kind of be able to go, okay, this is the space that you're working in. This is what you got, and cool to check out your animals and stuff as well.
Heaps smaller than you thought too. Like it is, hey. Like when I say it's small, it's like
it's
small.
It would be a little bit smaller than my room floor space wise, but height wise, it's definitely shorter.
Yeah, way shorter.
Like
I could pretty much be sitting on this chair and touch the roof.
Something.
Yeah, just down in the shed. So, but
you're on a high chair though.
Yeah, I'm on I need to get a comfy chair. I keep saying that. Like I sit on this thing every time. I'm like, why don't Office Works is up the road. I go there all the time, and I keep forgetting to just get a computer chair.
You guys should see what Jason sits on every week. He's like pretty much at a racket shelving desk that he's made, and he's on like a 90s bar stool.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, a 90s bar stool. Yeah. It's pretty accurate. It doesn't even have a cushion on it.
No. I don't know how you do it. Your ass must go numb.
I stand all day, though, usually, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I move around a bit.
Remember when we first started doing the podcast before I actually got into here? I was in my brother-in-law's bedroom when I was living at the in-laws place, and I had that chair that was like the back was broken on it, so I was always leaning heaps far back, and I had to like pack it out with all these pillows. Yeah, that was screwed.
It's probably still a bit more comfy than mine. I'd love to get a lounge, just sit back on a lounge like they do on Sneaks and Stogies and stuff. You see them, they're just sitting on a lounge nice and comfy.
That's a good idea.
That's what I'd love to do. I couldn't fit it in either. If I did, it'd eat into a lot of space.
Yeah, you'd have to lose animals then, definitely.
Yeah, which I don't really want to.
Or You should figure out. Oh no, you probably couldn't do it. I was going to say like some sort of way to have like your computer be able to like swing around. So if you had like a lounge against where your or instead of where your desk is now, put your lounge there, but then like some sort of like I don't know thing that kind of wheels out with your computer on it.
Yeah, that could work. That could work.
Do you know what I mean? Like just like a little
yeah.
mini desk type thing, but you could like wheel it in front of your couch.
Yeah. Yeah, that could work.
But in that room, it would be like a one-seater couch. You couldn't go any bigger than that.
No, it'd take up heaps of space. But yeah, that's something I'd love to do in the future. Nice bigger room. But I've got next door that I could take over eventually. But
knock down the wall.
Yeah, I built it purely for this. But yeah, maybe one day. I'd have to build another ceiling in there because it's just shed next door. It goes up and it's not as insulated. I'll put all insulation in all the walls and stuff here so it doesn't get as hot. But
yeah, doesn't
take too much space.
Yeah. Well, we've all got our limits, right? Yeah. I'm slowly being pushed out. So
yeah,
you know.
That's why I kind of like this little area. It's my little area, but yeah, I've pretty much everything I want that we like when you were up and I was talking you through what I'm going to do. It'll all fit like Tetris, but it'll fit and it'll look nice. So
no, I reckon I'll be mad.
Yeah, I'll be there soon, so not too much longer.
Yeah, I say yeah, not too much longer. We'll be still talking about this in a year's time. Like, oh, we're almost done.
Yeah,
we get there.
Well, I just need this. I just need that. But yeah, you would have come up a bit earlier, but I had a bloody bit of an incident at my joint that morning.
Yeah, I was planning to get there probably about 10 o'clock, but you had to race off to the hospital, didn't you?
Yeah, my wife was away on a mother's group girls weekend only, and I was looking after the kids all weekend, and as I was getting ready to go get some milk from the shops, take the kids, my son tripped over and headbutted the corner of the wall and split his forehead open.
Oh,
it was gnarly. Like the cut wasn't too big. Yeah, it was about, I was going to say it was about 15 mil long, but it just was right on his forehead. And like you look at the bruise, it goes from the gash all the way down over his eyebrow. So he's lucky he didn't cut his eyebrow, and then it goes all the way down his cheek too.
Oh.
So he was running full peg up the hallway, tripped over the rug, straight into the corner of the wall. And he hit the deck, and I heard him, and I stuck my head out, and he had his hand over his eye, and I thought the worst, that he's done something to his eye. And then, like, he's doing that cry where he's not quite crying. And it was 3 seconds, and then his hand was just covered in blood, and then it was all down his face, all in his eye. So I had to try and clean him up, and then rushed off to the hospital. And then there was a massive long wait time at the hospital. And we're just like, obviously my missus was like, I'm coming home. I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. Then rang a friend who's a nurse that worked there, and she's like, I'll just come here. I'll have a look at it for you. Because she goes, apparently they're really backlogged at that hospital at the moment. She said if it's non-life-threatening, it's like a 6 to 8 hour wait to be seen. So I was like, okay, I'll come there. And she just glued it all together for us. And I was like, beautiful.
Yeah.
So I was home by after 12 instead of, no, it wasn't 12, it was a bit later than that, actually. I can't remember what time it was.
It was a pretty gnarly looking cut, that's for sure. And when you showed me where he ran into,
yeah, that
would have
it's
hurt.
It's literally just like timber and then gyp rock. Like there's no give in the wall. It wasn't like it was a sheet of gyp, it was the corner of the wall. So it had the metal trim that you put that you set over with your gyp rock so you get your nice straight line. But yeah, it was insane.
Yeah,
insane. But no, it's good to come up. Good you finally got up here.
Yeah, well, it was about time. You know, it's only been in the works for God knows how long, but I owed you a case of beers for putting in the PowerPoint. So
yeah,
it's good to finally get those to you. And,
and you can see how much my daughter actually loves those turtles.
Oh, man. She was all over it.
Yeah.
She wouldn't leave you alone. She's like, Dad, turtles, now.
Yep. She does it every day. Every day. She's got a little turtle. It's a sea turtle. It's a bath toy. It's like, as soon as she gets in the bath, she's like, turtle, turtle, turtle. She just plays with that turtle the whole time. And went and bought her like a stuffed turtle the other day, and she runs around the house with that now. So she's just all about turtles, which is good.
That's unreal, hey?
Yep. Yeah, no, she loves them. Absolutely loves them.
Yeah, they're awesome animals. I'm even looking at the turtles at work again, and I'm like, no, can't do more turtles. Can't do turtles. I need space for child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, especially when you first have it, it'll be a bit of a shock to the system.
It's going to be it'll wake me up. That's for sure. It's
Oh, you'll be awake.
Yeah, I have no doubt of that. I'm thinking about how I'm going to struggle through that. But where was I going with that? I've kind of lost my train of thought. Yeah, it could be coming sooner rather than later as well. That's
you're saying that.
Kind of scary part about gestational diabetes is apparently it could be coming as early as 36 weeks. So that, for listeners at home, will be 6 weeks from when they're probably hearing this. So, yeah. Soon. Very soon.
Mate, you'll blink, it'll be gone, you'll have a baby in your arms.
Yeah. I'll be trying to feed it a mouse and putting a heat lamp above it, and this doesn't work.
Yeah. Doing a YouTube video of how to build a baby enclosure.
I'm going to have docs on my doorstep. No, I'm really looking forward to it. It was pretty much doing somersaults in my wife's belly the other night, so it was weird to watch.
Yeah, it's crazy when you see that, hey, and you feel it and stuff.
Yeah, they're like you could just see it like rolling over, like it was just so intense.
Yeah. Imagine what your missus feels. Like they'd feel all that. There's all stuff that like you don't get to feel and see because like obviously you can't feel and see it that they do.
Yeah. Oh man,
what's been going on there, mate?
About this post. Sorry, a bit of live book shopping while we're on the air here. She's got heaps of goanna copies of all sorts of books. That's okay, I'm just going to have to write back interested in all.
Price for all, please.
Sorry, guys. Sorry about this, guys. Just doing a bit of live book shopping while we're on there. I'm going on a goanna binge. I don't have enough goanna books. I'm trying to find something here. Here, mate, I've moved the Gillen's enclosure and the frill neck enclosure in behind me, as you can see. Probably. Can you see it? Yeah. It's right behind me.
I could see it, yeah.
So this room's now full. I just need to finish doing the backgrounds on everything, those photo backgrounds that I'm into at the moment. Then, this room's done and dusted, which will be good. And what else? Pretty much sold a couple of enclosures out of the other room, so there's a little bit more space there, but I've still got to move on one of my URS vivariums, the really large vivarium, the big grey plastic ones that they do. So I've got one more of those available. So if anyone's local and wants to take it off my hands, feel free. And then I've got to do a few other bits and pieces. I'm kind of like gearing up to build a few things in the lounge room to support those Hatchie green tree python tanks that I'm planning to do. Yeah. So I'm excited to do that, hey, because I love the little guys, but I want to see them. I just want to walk into a room and see them. I don't want to just like open up a tub and go, wow, that's fantastic, and then shut it and put it back again.
I know the feeling.
We're allowed to talk about that?
Oh, probably not yet. Nah, I'm waiting for the green light. I've kind of gotten it, but we've just got to see what happens.
Well, you got to keep us posted.
Fun and games, mate. But what do you think of the chameleon geckos when you came up?
Big.
Yeah.
I thought they were.
Because you'd never seen them before, have you?
No, not in the flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was really cool. Very alien-like.
Yes, that's the best way to describe them.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah,
an
when you
alien.
said alien, when you were describing them to me with it in your hand, I was like, that is the best way to describe them. They aren't like another gecko, really. Like, they're just so weird. Like, they're all laterally compressed and all funny looking. Yeah.
And the black eyes.
And like, you can't define a pupil.
Yeah. Yeah. Like in normal light, you probably could if you had a torch or something like that. But yeah, normal light, you can't really see anything like that. So fingers crossed. I can get some more.
I liked how you did those little hides for them too, because, you know, obviously they go to the ground over daytime to hide rather than on those vertical branches.
Yeah.
So do you want to just let everyone know what you do for your chameleon
I
gecko?
might put some pictures up too. I just get 2 pot saucers, plastic ones from Bunnings, just the $2 or whatever they are. Cut a hole, sink one down into the dirt, so it's like 25 mil, 50 mil under. Fill it with sphagnum moss, so it's moist. Put the other one on top, so the hole's kind of facing up, and then just cover it with dirt and leaves, so you can't see it. So all you can see is the entrance in. But what I do is I spin the lid, the entrance in, so it faces the back of the enclosure, because then obviously they feel more secure. If I come in, they can't see me, but if I need to get in there and get them out for whatever reason, I can just lift the lid up, and they're pretty much guaranteed to always hide in there.
Yeah.
So if I've had in previous enclosures, I've had like some logs and stuff on the ground, but they've never usually used them. They've always gone into those hides, and when they lay the eggs, they'll lay the eggs in those hides too. So, but what I used to do is I used to silicone dirt on it, but with these black ones, because they're black, I just sit the dirt over the top because it's deep enough in, so you can't really see it.
Yeah. When you said, I've got to pull up the hide, I was like, he looks at you, you just look like you're about to go digging in the dirt, basically. Like it was that blended in. Yeah.
But, it just works. And the good thing is they lay the eggs there, so you don't have to go digging for eggs. So you just, when they're gravid, I just check every day. I'll just go lift the hide up, just see if they're eggs. And because there's a little bit of dirt in there as well, it's not like you're digging, for ages trying to find them. You're ripping up plants, or whatever. They're generally like there. So you lift it up and you'll see them pretty much straight away.
Oh, that's pretty interesting how they lay them in there, because you'd think like with such a big tank like what you've got there, like it's a 60 cube or something that you've got.
That's
that one
60 cube, yeah.
Yeah, like it's a pretty big tank, and you'd think that they'd, all the other opportunities around the joint to lay it in, but that's pretty cool. They do it in the little dish.
Yeah, I think it's more of like a comfort thing kind of thing. It's like, oh, well, this is pretty optimal conditions. It's right moisture. It's, all that stuff, humidity. And I just spray down the sphagnum moss every so often. But it doesn't seem to dry out as much being in that.
Yeah, well, I suppose if it's all insulated in there sort of thing, it's going to, being plastic too, it's not going to evaporate so easily.
Yeah.
You've only got that kind of little entrance hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I should.
It's something pretty cool. I was thinking, when I saw that, I was like, oh, maybe I'll try something similar for my she-oak skink.
Yeah, actually, that'd probably work.
Yeah, just on a slightly larger scale, maybe like a 120 mil pot plant saucer.
I think mine are about 100. Yeah, mine's about 120. I think maybe 120 mil. Yeah, but I've got 2 in there, so I've only got 1 in there in the moment, but I generally give it 2. Yeah, but I generally have 2 in there. That way, when I get a pair, they'll be
have
each
able to get away from each other.
Get away from each other, and but I find most of the time that they kind of just both use the same one sometimes. Mm-hmm. But the female always use the same one. He chops and changes between the 2, but when I had my pairs previously, the female would always use the same one. She wouldn't change.
To be honest, like I even thought, like after seeing that, I was like, I should get some of like the terracotta ones and do them for like the gillons and stuff like that.
Yeah, they'd be better for gillons because they're a bit stronger, and like those plastic ones, if they bump them, they'll just flip them. Whereas these guys here, they don't really move lightning fast. They kind of, as you saw when I put it back in the enclosure, it stayed there until we left.
Yeah,
I won't move. You can't see me.
Yeah,
but you saw the other one. I try to get out a bit of attitude, but I don't like stirring them up too much, so. That's why I went the other one that was asleep. So
Well, geckos break, right? So,
Exactly.
we'll avoid that where possible.
Yeah. If they're asleep, I just scoop them up from underneath. But if they're awake, I generally try not to touch them too much. If they're on a branch, I pull the branch out or something. But other than that, I don't like to get them out too much. I think there's a picture on my Instagram where I've got 2 in my hand. But if you look at the way they're sitting, it's because they were both asleep in the same hide. And I just scooped them both up and then they were sitting in my hand. It's an older picture. I think it's from like a few years ago when I had pairs. But I should hopefully have a female coming next week.
Oh, look out.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
So fingers crossed for next season. But I was chatting with Gondwana Geckos.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think I've mentioned my hides before, but I flicked him a few pictures of how I did mine. But I think he's got a pair now as well, so that'll be good.
Wicked.
But he's also cohabiting his with some cornutus.
Yeah, you sent me that. I actually thought that was really cool.
So I've always wanted to do it. Like, I think I've spoken about it before. I've always wanted to do it. And then I saw him do it and I just messaged him like, have you had any issues? But he's like, nah, seems to be pretty good. So, but, I'm keen to give that a whirl soon once I get some new enclosures up and running. Larger enclosures, obviously.
Even like, it'd be cool to be able to do the prickly forest skinks in with them as well, but you'd just be worried about them kind of dominating the ground space where the calves are hiding out.
Yeah, I think they'd piss them off a bit too much, to be honest. But, I know I think they're from the same area, but it's obviously they've got a lot more space, but all day those things running around and hiding, they'd probably use the same hides and everything else. They'd probably piss them off, but...
Yeah. Well, imagine if you did, like, I'm just spitballing here. This is all hypothesis, of course, but, like, imagine you did, like, 120 by 120 by 60 centimetre tank and you had, like, all your vertical branches and stuff for your cornutus and stuff to hide on and some nice thin, spindly branches for the calves to be able to hunt on. And then you did, like, your pot saucer trick, but you did, like, 15 of them.
Yeah, a bunch under there, yeah.
Yeah, just stacks. So then there was just, like, all these crazy opportunities to hide for anybody in the tank.
Yeah.
Then you might be able to get away with it, but then you're also talking a massive enclosure for some very tiny animals. But it'd be wicked, though, and I reckon it would be possible.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I know. I've always thought of it, so who knows? Well, obviously, I've got a big sink in the corner that takes up a shitload of space that you saw. Yeah,
that's like 4 foot there.
Yeah, it is basically a 4 foot enclosure in that corner. But I've got some ideas for that.
Yeah, you've reserved that for some thoughts.
Yeah, so because it's dead space, I'd like to do that enclosure like a 1200, but it's only got like a 600 door, and the other bit would just be like in the corner, so I'm not wasting space.
Yeah,
almost like a corner cupboard. But
yeah, it's one of those things that crossed my mind about the corner that I got here that's in between the monitors. I've kind of got a 600 by 600 footprint corner that's a bit dead, but I've got a lot of power cables and stuff to everything in there, so whilst it's dead, it's being used. Yeah,
well, I'll have that next to the other enclosures, but I'm going to put a big water tank there and just run my Miss King off it. Miss King, I'll probably get another one eventually, I think. Miss King's off it, so...
Did I tell you that my new Miss King timer shut itself?
Yeah. What, just doesn't turn on, or?
The timer itself turns on, but for whatever reason, it doesn't give power to the pump. So, when you do like your manual override on it or whatever to manually mist, just doesn't work.
Yeah, right.
So it's no power going to the pump. So anyway, I ripped it out and hooked it up to a Grid Connect timer. And because it's in this room anyway, I'm not really spraying these animals very regularly. I've just left it off, but then I can just go onto my phone and just manually turn it on for however long I want to do it for. And at least it saves me walking around to each enclosure and, hand pump and misting everything by hand. So
yeah, exactly. But it's kind of handy. And I've got mine on a timer, so it comes on like 2 times a week for a minute.
Yeah.
But I've got a shut-off valve for the smaller enclosures, so I don't.
So you
it
can
doesn't
turn them off
use
so you
them all
don't
the
flood
time.
them.
Yeah, because I like to have it on for the boids for a longer time. But that's why I'm thinking of having another misking, because I'll have some bigger enclosures.
Yeah, one for the small stuff, one for the big stuff.
Actually, in saying that, with what I want to do, everything will kind of almost be the same size. So,
yeah, I mean, with the
go
big things,
900.
you could just use more nozzles.
More nozzles, yeah. I'd probably still double up the nozzles in the other one anyway. Have 2 in it.
In the smaller tanks you're talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. No, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just have one in those ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've got an idea of what I want to do for something else in there anyway. So, but the big ones I'll double up. So, except one I won't. I'll probably just have maybe one nozzle in it.
Yeah, it's I love getting ideas from other people. Hey,
You gave me the idea for something, or did I come up? Oh, you kind of actually you did it, and then it gave me the idea to do something.
Have we spoken about something here before?
No,
Are you able to speak about it?
Yeah,
yeah. I don't remember.
It's the for my background. You made that drip system for the frogs, and I'm going to do it like a drip system for the leaf tail enclosures.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to do down the walls crevices, down the crevices, and try and get ferns to grow out of the crevice like you see in the bush. So I've actually got some native ferns coming down as well.
Oh, wicked.
So I'm going to try and propagate some ferns for myself and just acclimatise them to my area, and then basically make it look like, you always see ferns growing out of the cracks in rocks. Basically, I'm going to try and do that. So, but to keep the moisture up, obviously, that some of the ferns require, and it not being a deep enough crack to always stay wet. And that's why I thought if I run like a little drip system down it and just have it on a timer, come on, keep the soil moist and the plants will grow out. And then I'm not overwatering the whole enclosure. Yeah. It's just enough to keep the soil moist. Like I wouldn't need to run it long just to get those little crevices wet, but yeah. So.
Yeah, I think I'd like to do something similar in that Boyd's tank.
Yep.
Because you know
because you've got the big one in the back.
Yeah. I'd forget to wet it down or whatever, and then everything just dries out and dies in there. So I'd like to do something similar to that. And I don't know if I'd run the cord the whole way down. I'd probably run like halfway.
Yeah.
And like block it off and then do like little holes along the
holes in it. That's what I was going to do.
Yeah. And then just hope that it seeps around the bottom kind of corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to play around with that.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I'm thinking. So
yeah, that'll be mad.
I want to try and use native plants in the enclosures. Like I obviously with the different leaf tails coming from different areas, it'd be a bit hard to have those exact species, but at least native ferns, native Australian ones, and that kind of thing, which I think we spoke about previously. But it'll look cool good when it's done. So
it was cool to see your little like moss box that you got on top of your calf tank, and like how you've started to germinate a few ferns and stuff in that.
Yeah, that was a fluke too. Those ferns germinating out of that, because I've just taken that moss off my rainwater pipe where it goes into my rainwater tank, and just chucked it in there, and I've got another little patch that just always grows moss, and it started growing fern out of it. I was like, that's pretty cool. I don't know what fern it is yet, so it's only just kind of started to get, I don't know what stage they call it, but it starts off and it looks, it's got a couple of little leaves coming off it. They're turning into leaves now, but you can see the stem and everything else, so it'd be pretty cool to see what it turns into. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into some more rainforesty stuff for a bit, just to kind of take me away from the arid gear.
The arid
being
stuff.
Able to,
well, my whole room's just pretty much going to be a rainforest, except for one enclosure. So
yeah, I mean, I've pretty much only got the greens and the boyds really, that are rainforesty, and they're all going into the lounge room. Oh,
Yeah, well, your
my new
rainforest
frog.
is going to be a bit of a lounge. Yeah, your frog too. Still trying to track down a white-lipped tree frog if anyone knows of any too, so let me know.
Yeah. Bloody Kai got to me. Kai, Amy, and Cindy and Marie. It was like a team effort. Not that it was, not that they were trying, but when I saw Kai's magnificent tree frog, I was just like, oh, I need to get myself one of these. And
yeah. Frogs are cool.
Came home from the expo with one. Oh, I love frogs. I think I was missing them, to be honest. Once I sent them all away, like once I gave you those last ones, I was like, oh, I actually missed the little buggers.
Yeah, I do like frogs. I love those little filicroa.
I knew you would.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah. They were my favourite. That's why they were the last to go.
Yeah. But, yeah, the red eyes are cool, and so are the parents, but I've got a bunch of them around here, so they don't, like...
Not doing it for you anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're cool, but, yeah, that's not the same. I'd love a big white lip, though, I think, so... That's one of the things. If you've never kept them before, you don't really know until you kind of keep them, so...
Oh, 100%. I still go through that trial and error with stuff where I just go, oh, no, this isn't for me. You got to do it. I think you have to. It's a natural progression of keeping animals, and then eventually you find where you kind of sink into and go, all right, this is me. At least with the bulk of it.
Yeah, well, I've pretty much found my bulk of what I want, but...
Yeah. It's good fun.
And you hoard Gillens, so,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting some more.
What?
I don't know. Did I tell you this? Yeah. I'm getting more.
Maybe, well, I don't, yeah.
I'm trading.
So
okay. I'm trading Gillens for Gillens so I can diversify my blood. So, yeah. It's going to be hard to see the little buggers go, but, so I should be getting some more next Sunday. All going to plan.
So, nice.
And then I should, in theory, have like 4 different groups of blood.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, when I say that, there's like one lone individual that is his own bloodline that I got from Kurt. But it'll just put a bit of variety into the mix and make sure there's no weird stuff happening.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's always good to do.
And then I'll be back up to 12. Yep.
12. Jeez. I'd love to. I would love to do that with leaf tails. I'd love to have like 2 different trios that are unrelated, but I don't have the space to do that, unfortunately.
Even if can you do 2 pairs?
It's almost the same space. Like 2 pairs would be. So, yeah, it's still that extra enclosure. Because if I keep them together, you don't know who's doing what with who. So,
Yeah.
Like I know which girl laid the eggs, but I wouldn't know which male did the deed. So you could have, 2 females in there, 2 males, but I wouldn't know which one was which. Because the males don't seem to fight with each other. Leaf tails.
Yeah, right. I haven't. I don't think I ever housed 2 males together.
Yeah, I have previously, but I mean, I prefer not to, obviously, just in case. But I've never noticed it. But yeah, I'd love to have 2 separate trios or 2 separate pairs of each, but I just don't have the space for that.
Yeah, one day, something to aspire to.
Yeah, one day. Yeah, hopefully, I'll take over the other side of the shed. Clear all the crap out of there. But I got a lot going on here at the moment anyway, so as you saw, yard's half dug up, bloody.
Oh, house renos everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So got to finish a bunch of that off too, so. It's good though, I'm on the coast now working, so.
Bit more time in the day, mate.
Yeah, get to play with my kids, come down here with the kids. Just good.
Yeah. That's the good stuff, man. Like, it's a work-life balance, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. That's why I took the job. It's a bit of a pay cut, but, you know, not driving 4 hours out in my own time every day.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the morning,
like
driving in the morning doesn't bother me. Like, I don't mind if I drive, like if it takes, getting up early and going to work doesn't bother me, but it's the drive home. I absolutely despise it.
Yeah.
But my podcast listening time has gone dramatically downhill.
Yeah.
So,
mine's up. Traffic's been crap. Took me an hour and a half to get to work the other day. I think I listened to like a full carpus and coffee or something on the way to work.
Yeah. So I can't really listen to it at work now too, because I always used to have my earphone in at work, but I'd also have it in because if someone rang me, instead of pulling my phone in my pocket, I could see who it was on my watch and just answer the phone.
Yeah.
And obviously just listen to the podcast. But what I'm doing now is I can't really have it in your ear. So, but.
Oh, well. What are you going to do? You can't change that.
No. I still manage to listen to the most of the ones I do. Like, I'll sit down at night time and just listen to something. Or if I'm down here, I'll chuck it on the computer and with the speakers and until my son wants to come down here and do something, have something playing instead of the podcast. So, as you saw, if you try and do something and they want it, it can be a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
Like when they're up the top screaming out for me when me and you were down here having a beer.
No, well, things to look forward to, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But, I just need to track down some Swaney now.
I almost bought you some Moritz at that expo, but it was from the same guy that I got the Moritz you've already got off. So I was like, I don't think he's going to want extras on those. So.
Yeah, well, it's probably... Yeah, well, you got one off me, which I've got back. And then there's
I got
other
a pair
two
of
that you got.
Yeah.
Which turned out to be a pair, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. But so at least then, like they were probably a clutch pair, but at least I've got two unrelated.
Well, you got a female and a male that are unrelated.
Yeah, and just a spare male. But yeah, I just need to track down some Swaney and a female Celebrosis.
That's pretty good. Like granted, you had a hell of a lot of geckos just sitting here waiting for the moment for this to happen. But
that's right.
Even still, you have been able to track down a few odds and ends that you needed to just kind of round it out.
Yeah, well, a lot of them come from people that I move stuff onto and that kind of thing. But it was.
It's bloody good when that happens, though. Hey, when you do move things onto people and then you do keep in contact with them, I love it. Like, I got a message from the guy that took my olive python from me the other day. Yeah. And he's like, I haven't sent you anything, but, here he is cruising around his enclosure. And he was in like I think it was 5 foot long by 3 foot deep by 8 foot tall. And he's just like climbing up this tree. Like he's just.
That's unreal.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite a big enclosure. And I was like, man, like he wasn't a massive snake. Like he would have been, I don't know, 6 foot or so.
Yeah.
But, he looked tiny in this thing. It was awesome.
Yeah.
No, he looked happy as. So, but it was cool to kind of just get that back and get that feedback. And he's like, he's loving life. He's an awesome snake. So
that's awesome.
I sent him back a message. I was like, that looks fantastic. If you ever decide to sell him, please let me know. Like,
yeah,
he's one of those animals that was so hard to get rid of.
Yeah, that was the same with me when I decided to part ways. I honestly didn't think I'd ever get back into it again. Like,
well, that's the way you were getting out. That was where you were going.
Yeah,
you weren't coming back.
Everything. No. And I still kept. I still had a bunch of exoterras. Not like that. I kept them because was hoping, but I put an ad up and they never sold, and then I forgot about them because they're in the shed. But kind of worked out good because I've got all the young stuff in there now. Boyds. I hatched some more boyds out the other day too. So
you sold a couple and hatched a couple.
Sold a couple, hatched some out the same day.
Yeah,
so it was good.
Good rollover.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the boyds.
They're good animals. Like them.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying having mine in my lounge room.
Yeah, that's right, because you moved them into your lounge room now, didn't you? Painted the enclosure white and
Yeah.
did all that.
Yep, they've become part of the furniture. Essentially, the green tree pythons are going to sit on top of their enclosure.
Hey, your lounge room's going to look like a jungle.
It sure will, with a big reef tank in the middle of it.
Yeah, tropical Queensland jungle.
Yeah, with the yeah, pretty much like Daintree to reef.
Yeah,
the Great Barrier all in one room. I never thought of that.
Some Crocs, mate.
I could probably put a small salty in my tank.
I love Crocs.
I love them too. It was cool seeing some when we were up north. We didn't get to see heaps of them, but we saw a couple.
Yeah.
That was mad. Good fun.
Yeah, no, your lounge room's going to be, because you got quite a few plants through there as well. I want to chuck more plants in the house. Like we've got a few on the deck, but we've got a few more renos happening and stuff. So I've got to try and finish all that stuff. The reno's going to take a while because we've just changed what we want to do again. So we're still doing the outside, the side bit. That's the main thing. But then the inside stuff we've changed again. So which would be good. Give us a bit more space and give me an actual bigger bookshelf too. I squeezed an awesome bookshelf into the. Did I show you I was going to put the bookshelf?
No.
You know when you come into my house and there's the dining table? So that dining table is going to actually go over the opposite corner where the lounges are.
Right, okay, yep.
And we're going to build another lounge room, like outside, like off the back where the deck is. That's going to be the new lounge room, but bigger. Mm-hmm. So where that table is, that whole wall is going to be a bookshelf.
Oh. That'll be awesome.
So it'll basically be three of my ones long, but the bottom won't be. It'll just be from they'll be cupboards.
Yep.
And then it'll just be from basically the cupboards up to the ceiling. I'm going to go full height all the way to the ceiling. And then, but in saying that, there's going to be a space in the middle for a big planted vivarium in the middle inside.
What are the plans for that?
That's going to be hopefully for the white-lipped tree.
Oh, that'll be mad. In the house.
Yeah. It'll either be there or it'll be out in the lounge room, one of the two. But we'll have a door that we can shut on that lounge room.
What are you planning to do that vivarium out of? Are you going to do like a PVC tank, or are you just going to do like a big exoterra or something?
I'm not sure, hey. I'm not sure. I haven't thought of that yet. Maybe just a big exoterra, I think. Just because it's inside. The exoterras do look pretty neat, like in your house. But yeah, I think maybe a 90-90-45.
Yeah.
One of those
big
bad
boys.
Yeah, and I just basically plant her up. But obviously those things will thrash plants as well, so I've got to try and pick some plants that'll a bit hardy and that kind of thing. So
I'm gearing up to basically put my mag into a tank that's going to last him for a little while. It's already in a 90 tall by 45 wide by 45 wide.
Yeah.
But I want to do. I've got another one of those tanks that I'm just going to silicon some uni rock into the back wall of it, and kind of do it similar to like what I did with the Philocroa, where it's a little bit of a sandy base but with water in the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to do that for him, just because I find it's pretty easy to keep clean and all the rest of it. But it's also awesome for plants that they can stick their roots into that water and just soak up all that, and it'll take up the nutrient in that. And I'll just do like Ficus pumila and pothos and just real simple stuff, but stuff that hopefully you won't trash too bad, or if he does, it grows back pretty easily.
Yeah. Well, that's like the other two I've done here behind me with the red eyes and the parents. But all the mosses started growing on the dirt.
Yep.
So
it spreads up.
Pretty cool.
And wicks itself up pretty much.
Yeah. But and the sphagnum moss is coming back to life.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. So but yeah, that's these two enclosures are going though, so but it makes more space for me.
Yeah. Well, you got to put your leafies in big cages, and you've got that all planned out. So
yeah, it's like because I was gonna try and go 3 enclosures high, but because of the ceiling, I couldn't fit a decent size enclosure with the rack. I could, if it was like one, what do you call it? If I didn't,
Bay, sort of
one bay pretty much, I could have probably just squeezed it, but then I couldn't access any of, I'd have to have lights inside and all that kind of stuff. I don't want any of that inside. I just want to have the misting nozzle inside and the lights on mesh and all that kind of stuff and still be able to access the top. So then I just decided to go bigger enclosures and just to go 2.
Yep.
Which obviously, but does give me as many enclosures, but it gives me bigger enclosures, which I probably prefer anyway.
Well, at the end of the day, if you're giving the animal a bit more room to roam, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I can kind of after being up there, I think I can envision it a lot better.
Yeah.
To know what you're going to do, and that's it's got me all jazzed up because I'm excited to see it happen.
It'll probably take a while to do, but once that wall's done, it'll look sick. So, need to get a little fridge down here with a kegerator in it, so I can just sit down
that'd
here
be wicked
when the kids go to bed. Because everyone goes to bed pretty early. Like both the kids are in bed now, and because I'm working on the coast now, I stay up later. So I'm not going to bed till like 10:30 now. So, so it's good. So I just come down here, because we've got a camera in the house.
Yeah.
So I can see, I can turn that on and I can hear the kids if they wake up. So I can just race up there and get my son back to sleep. Saves my wife doing it because she's get my daughter to sleep. So yeah.
Yeah, keep her happy.
Yeah, happy wife, happy life.
Both of them. Yep, there's definitely no truer saying than that.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of cameras, can you see my little camera up there?
Yes, your Grid Connect one.
Yeah, I've got it. I found this, just cheap L bracket.
Yeah.
And I've kind of just mounted it off the rack a little bit, so I can get I'd say it would be close to 270-degree view of the room.
You could almost do 360 really, but you'd just be too close to those first few enclosures, wouldn't you?
Yeah. That's the downside. So I think I need to do another little one next to me, just off the side of these enclosures.
Yeah.
Just facing that way.
It's a shame. Oh no, it wouldn't work. Oh no, it would work. I was going to say you could hang it from the ceiling, but you got a fan. Stick it at the bottom of your fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, they're good little cameras. The video quality is not amazing, but for what you need,
it's not half bad.
No, it's pretty good. Where mine's on the desk next to the computer, and I can see the enclosures here, and you can actually not eye shine. I can see where everything is of an avatar.
I love being able to do that
because I struggle to find these frogs half the time. These little philocroa. I can find 2 of them always, but of a nighttime I can find all 4.
Yeah.
But during the day I can't. But obviously at nighttime, if you turn that camera on, you can see where every single gecko is because you can see the eye shine from the infrared from the camera, which is pretty cool. But
nothing beats the time that I got movement detected and there's a little green tree python hatched out sitting on a branch in front of that camera.
Oh yeah, so I'll turn my movement detection off. I should turn it back on actually, but
I've turned it off now too. But that was I got sick of me walking in and out and getting notified all the time.
How funny is the little voice it does?
Camera connected.
The little camera.
Yeah. No, they're good little value for money there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely go to chuck another one on this side, over on this side, I reckon. But I've got my spider in your big house. Did I tell you that?
That's I always forget you've got a spider, hey?
Yeah, it's on the desk now. My wife was working here all day yesterday. And I was like, oh, what do you reckon my new spider tank? And she's like, that's what's in there? She still doesn't like the idea of me having a spider in here, yet alone a big tarantula on the desk next to her while she's working.
That's funny. My son loves spiders. I'm half tempted to just get one. But I want to wait till he's a bit older because I don't want him to think he could just grab, same with snakes.
Yeah.
He's just a bit young to say, no, you can't touch that. but he's starting to get a bit better with snakes. Like I always say, if you see a snake, what do? He goes, tell daddy. But out of nowhere, he's like, tell daddy so you can kill it. I'm like, no, mate, I'm not going to kill it. Like, where did this come from?
Yeah, maybe that's another kid's influence at school or something, or a kindy.
I think
or something.
that's where it's come from. I think it's come from school. Like, not. Yeah. I think it might have come from maybe the teachers or something. But I'm like, no, mate, daddy will make it. Get rid of it so it's safe. But always tell me if you see a snake. So, still bangs on about green tree pythons, which is good. So, I think he did a good job on his mother. So,
I've got to get it across the line yet. But that'll be good if that happens.
Pretty well there. It's just she just doesn't like the mice and rats that you got to feed snakes. She hates rats, like hates rats. Likes native like mice and stuff like that. But rats, she like the thought of it, she just hates. So like if I was to feed down here, she wouldn't come down here. She'd be like, it's disgusting. There's like rat juice everywhere because I defrost them in water. She's like, that water's disgusting. Like, but it's a thing she doesn't like. Rats and cockroaches. Yeah. So
each their own, right? Everyone's got their thing they don't like.
Yeah. So I was like, what if I feed just quail? She's like, oh, maybe you can. Yeah. Just wouldn't tell her I fed rats.
Yep. But I reckon you'd be right just to hide them. You could probably hide them in the freezer and she'd never even find them. Just hide them in the back of the freezer or something.
Yeah, in a container. Not in our freezer. I'd have to do it in the little bar fridge. But in saying that, I want to put a little bar fridge next to me right here. So the freezer in.
Oh, that'd be perfect then.
Yeah, nice cold beer in the podcast.
Yeah.
So I can slap on stickers on it. Yeah. So
yeah, that'd be mad.
Cool. Yeah. But I need to get more stickers. I've got a whole bunch of stickers here. If anyone wants some stickers from me and has stickers, shoot me a message. We can trade.
The trade's happening. Yeah.
So
I need to get some made up still. I just need to pay for all these backgrounds to get done. It's costing me a fortune.
That's right, yeah. How you going? You've got some new ones lined up?
Yeah, I've a bit of a schmozzle with that actually. But I had given the guy all the dimensions and all the images for all the exoterras in this room. So that's another, 8 tanks because one of them's got 3 wall background on it. And apparently I sent him really crappy quality images. I didn't realise at the time, but they were very low res. So I had to go back through a whole bunch of SD cards and stuff and find images that were better quality and, going back to images from 2001, 2019 from other NT trips and stuff like that. And anyway, I ended up spending this afternoon after I got home from work early, a couple of hours just finding images and resending them off. But hopefully he should get those all printed out this week for me to slap on these exoterras on the outside of them.
Yeah.
But he's doing 2 coats of laminate on these ones as well. So he essentially prints it on clear, then laminates it in white. So then any of the white colours in the image stay light.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's doing a black laminate over the top of that. So then when they're on the outside of the tank, you see black.
Yeah, okay.
So then it's like, because otherwise, when you get that gap in between a couple of exoterras, you don't want that to be white.
Yeah.
Stark white in there, and you'd see any dust or anything like that in there.
Yeah.
So at least by him doing those extra, that's why it's costing me a bit more, is because it's like double laminated, but it'll be worth it long term.
Yeah, especially, if you're not going to change your room around too much more and you have those all set up, it look good.
Look, even if I did change the room around, I'd end up going and storing those tanks somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I'd go and store them at my in-laws or something because it's that's an investment. I'll use them again down the line. So, it's one of those things that I just want this room to be my little hidey hole, much like your little shed is down there. So then you've got your little escape from everything.
Dad.
And
Dad.
Dunny was in here the other day. She's like, how are you going to keep all these lizards secure in here? And I was like, easy, I'll put a baby gate at the door.
Yeah. Until they get to the age and they can climb it. The Exoterra locks are pretty tricky for some kids to undo. Like you saw my daughter with the Exoterra.
Yeah.
She can't undo the lock, but she loves swinging the door which is,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
watch
she had
this.
some
There'll be a
force behind that.
tension. Yeah, there'll be a tension when I shut this door and lock it. And sure enough.
Proper tears.
She loves those frogs, though, too. Frogs and...
Yeah.
She loves everything, really. She's not too... The boys scare her a bit because they're a bit bigger. But,
But as soon as you opened up those frog tanks, she like pretty much stuck her hand and her head in there and was just checking them out. Yeah, to almost stop her from grabbing them.
Yeah. I was like, don't grab it. Yeah. But, yeah, the locks are a bit tricky for me to undo. My son could probably... If I showed my son how to undo them, he'd undo them. But you can get those little locks for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they can still open a jar. So if you've got certain animals, they can still get out. Like... I've pulled it to a degree, but you can also use, you know, those old like bread ties, just them, and just twist them.
Twist ties,
it's like an extra layer. Those twist ties, but
you can get those releasable cable ties as well.
Yeah.
Something like that might even be half decent.
Yeah,
I don't know if they'd fit through there. You'd have to find the right size one, but that's an idea.
Yeah.
You might just need like a little tool or something to release them.
Yeah. Even probably it'd be a bit hard. I was going to say like a split pin or something, but then you got to bend the split pin every time you want to do the enclosure.
Yeah.
Just lock the door, mate. You'll be right.
Yeah, then there'll just be this bang, bang, bang on the door all the time with the kid wanting to come in. No, I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time in here with my kid, to be quite frank.
Yeah, that's why I just want to get stuff finished so I can just enjoy it.
Yeah. I was in here the other day enjoying a whole bunch of stuff, just, playing around with animals. And I was actually filming a video and I had the door closed behind me, like I do now. And I looked down. I don't know how I missed it. And there's a lizard asleep on the ground.
Oh, like a skink?
I told you that.
Or one of yours?
One of mine.
What are you leaving in closure open?
Guess which lizard?
Asleep.
Let's put it this way. Yeah. It was night time, so it was asleep on the ground. Take a stab.
So it's got to be... I don't know, your frill neck or something like that?
No. If I left his enclosure open, he'd still be sitting there on the branch, the derpy bugger.
Gillen's or one of your monitors or something?
Yeah, my Kimbo.
That was going to be my next guess.
Yeah.
Like tucked away, just in the middle of the floor.
No, just like underneath where I store my ladder. Just like behind the door. She'd essentially just gone behind the door and fallen asleep. And I grabbed her and I was like, oh God, something's going to be wrong. And she just woke up and was like, what the hell are you doing? But I must have just left the door a few mil ajar, I reckon. And she's just got her head in and wedged it.
Yeah,
so
opened it.
Yeah, I went back and looked on the camera. And sure enough, she sat there for ages working at it. Just she must have just been able to get just a snout in. And it just... But when the door was...
Freedom.
This is the amazing thing, right? Scary stuff, yes. I do not want that to happen again. But the most amazing part was the door, when I found it, would have only been 10 mil open. So she squeezed out, through a 10 mil gap. She flattened herself to get through that thing. Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's what they're made for, right? They're made for shimmying through those sort of tight spaces. Yeah.
That's crazy. Lucky you found it, though. I suppose your house is pretty
my house is tight. My house is pretty tight. It made me second guess putting one of those little sweeper things on the front door.
Yeah.
You know how you just get those little kind of draft stoppers or whatever you want to call them. So I'm thinking about doing that just to try to, because that's if it was going to go out anywhere, that would be it.
Yeah. You can put little chocks in your doors so they can't push them open, or
I've got one
little doorstop chocks. Yeah. Do you have an SD card in your camera?
Yeah. It just was a loop or something like that, though. So
yeah.
But that's where I went back on her, and I just see this little shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
That's fun.
She worked it for ages, hey? She honestly would have worked it for, I reckon, over half hour.
Determined little bugger.
It's a heavy piece of glass. I'm surprised you could actually open
Yeah, was it? It's like 900 high by.
Yeah, the 900 to
450 or something?
600. Yeah. 4.5 mil glass.
Yeah. Oh, lucky you there. That's lucky you saw it, eh?
I can't believe it. Like, it could have been hiding under anything in here. It could have been under the Exoterra rack. It could have been absolutely anywhere.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
See, I plan on putting my racks on wheels too. So having those two larger enclosures gives me a bit of space to tuck some wheels under the rack.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely a good call if you're going to do that. I'd say that, you know, I think it's good to have them up a little bit higher. And then, yeah, as you say, you could have storage underneath. You could have like little moss tubs or something growing underneath if you wanted it, you know, something easy you can move. Your bugs, you could probably do your bugs down low.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean feeder bugs or like?
Feeder bugs.
Towers? Yeah. I probably wouldn't have enough room to do a cricket tub.
Or even still, then you could do springtails and you could do some cultures for like your wood lice or something like that.
Yeah, but I'll use it for like when I get eggs as well. I'll put all the eggs underneath as well because that's the coolest area. I don't have to worry about heat spikes. And what I'll do is I'll just keep species under species. So I know. I can tell what's what, but you know, just makes it easier.
Yeah, it's just about efficiency in that sense.
Yeah, you can just get banged straight down. Good to go.
Yeah.
But just keen to get things finished. I mean, it'll take a while because I've still got to build backgrounds and do all that crap. Still got to get the enclosures and everything. But yeah.
Yep. Plug it away, mate. Plug it away.
Yeah.
Do you know what was really cool that I did recently, actually? Is I lit up my nocturnal animals with some different coloured LEDs.
I'm going to say that, yeah.
I'm really enjoying this. I got this idea from Kai and Amy when I stayed down with them, but they got like essentially like these little $2 shop puck lights that change different colours, and they're just like a little tiny LED that you kind of can sit on top of your, or usually they kind of go to the bottom of your, or the underside of a cabinet on your kitchen bench, and just for lighting that up.
Yeah.
I've just got them all above these nocturnal animals that I've got now, and I can light them up blue or red or whatever it might want to be. But yeah, it's kind of cool because you don't disturb the animals, and you've got a little bit of light that you can come in here in the pitch darkness and actually see them go about their business, which is pretty mad.
Exactly. And I mean, like people say that the lights will bother the nocturnal animals and stuff, but they're not on 24/7. They're only on when you're in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And, you know, like that, it might only be for an hour that I'm hanging out in here, you know, once every few days or something like that. And it's better than my phone torch or a headlamp or
that's right.
the room light. So
I noticed, like, I think I've spoken about it maybe once or twice before, but the chameleon geckos, they freeze when you're in here. They won't move, except for I've got the other ones, the aggro one that you saw. That one will move when I'm in here, will eat, but this one in the one behind me won't. But if I use a red headlamp, it goes about normal business. Turn the light off, headlamp on, it'll just continue. So I know I can see, I could probably see the light, but its pupils don't dilate. They still stay small. Not as small as they would if it was dark, but you know, they're not like it's daylight or anything like that. But I still get to watch them that way, which is pretty cool.
That's mad.
So.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to kind of just offset it a little bit, so you actually do get that natural interaction, and it means you don't feel so bad watching them. You know, like you're ruining their night. Yeah, like it's bad enough when I come in here of a podcast evening and I got the little desk lamp on. But
I've got all my lights on, so you know, like I've got 4 bloody downlights on. But
sometimes I do too, but you know, I like being able to have that option just to chuck a little light on and not bother them so bad.
A little desk lamp or something like that and do the same thing.
Yeah.
But, I want to do the same. Put some coloured lights in all my enclosures as well, just so I can come in here and go about my business and just watch them interact. Because, you turn that light on, they definitely stop.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to do something that wasn't battery operated. So if I did it again, I'd try to find some sort of LED that wasn't battery operated, like your LED strip. But the only other idea that I came up with is like one of those color changing strips. But then you just end up with so much extra bleed light from running the whole rack.
And they're so bright too.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. This one you can actually dial them up and down, so you can actually like dim them a fair bit.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you can just see that.
Yeah, I just saw it go down then. Yeah, that's the only problem with the strip light is if you run the strip the whole way, you're going to have it like that's just a little spotlight. So that's actually good.
Yeah.
It's
only kind of like maybe like 40 mil of light across.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like a small downlight pretty much. So
yeah, very minimal. But no, it's pretty cool. I liked it. I went and found a listing on eBay where I got 6 lights for $16, I think it was, including postage. So I ordered 12 of them. And as per standard cheap things on eBay, 4 of the lights were broken. So they refunded me for those. So
that's all right.
But that's all right. I got what I needed. That was the main thing. I got a few extras. So, yeah. But I'll probably end up doing it above like the greens and stuff like that in the lounge room as well. Just to
bit of light,
poke around with them a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, you have these animals, you kind of want to enjoy them, you know? Like.
Yeah, well, that's the idea, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And that's why I want to get everything finished and just enjoy it. And then hopefully get babies out and then,
Yes. Babies out. Start making me sweat when I think about getting babies out at the moment because I'm having human babies.
6 weeks, mate. Yeah, no more for me. I'm thinking about going and getting the snips. So I don't have to have any more.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I promised Danny one. We'll see how this goes for a bit before we decide whether we're having any more. Otherwise, I might get that done too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm a proven breeder now, so.
I'm 90% there.
90%, yeah. You're in incubation period at the moment, so.
Yeah.
Why don't we leave it on that one, eh?
Yeah, sounds good. Otherwise, we'll just keep waffling on about weird stuff. Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We'd like to say a massive thank you to Eric and Owen and the rest of the MPR crew for having us. If you'd like to contact them, it's best to find them at moreliapythonradio.com and email them at info@moreliapythonradio.com. Make sure to follow the NPR network on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I know they've been making a massive push on Instagram lately as well, so go and join up over on there because it seems to be a platform of choice for them at the moment. As far as contacting us on our social media platforms, you can email us at australianherpetoculture@gmail.com, and you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Make sure to go and head over to our Facebook page and check out our Teespring store. The link's over on there, so you can get yourself some merch. To see more of what Jason's doing, make sure to follow him on Facebook and Instagram at The Gecko Effect. And for myself, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon under Teespring under Beach and Scaly Beasts. We hope to have you back next week for another episode of the Australian Herpetoculture Podcast. Good night, everyone.
Good night.